Good day, I'm Zian Liberty Carlos together with my team are going to present the commodity systems analysis of cassava, Manihot esculenta. Cassava is a woody, starchy root vegetable that is an important food crop in many tropical countries. It is a staple food in the Philippines, where it is known as kamoting kahoy. Cassava can be eaten cooked or raw and is often used to make chips, flour, and other products. Cassava farming in the Philippines is a labor-intensive process, but it can be very rewarding. Yield per hectare can vary depending on the variety of cassava you are growing. But, on average, you can expect to yield about 20 to 25 tons per hectare. With proper care and management, your cassava farm can provide you with a good income and stable source of food for your family. There are many different types of cassava varieties, each with its own set of characteristics. Some of the more popular varieties include the TMS 418. This variety is characterized by its high yield potential and resistance to pests and diseases. It is one of the most widely cultivated varieties in the Philippines. The other one is the TMS 519. This variety is similar to TMS 4 but has a higher yield potential. It is also resistant to pests and diseases. The last one is the TMS 620. This variety has a very high yield potential and is resistant to most pests and diseases. However, it is not as widely cultivated as the other two varieties due to its lower tolerance to drought conditions. Here are some images of the cassava varieties. Next is the importance of commodity to the economy. Cassava is one of the important root crops in the Philippines because of its many uses. Aside from being used as food and feed ingredients, it is also used in manufacture of industrial products. Cassava used as raw materials in the production of ethanol. Moreover, cassava can be processed into different food products with higher economic value. Cassava can be stored in the ground of several seasons, thereby serving as a reserve food when other crops fail. Now, let's proceed to the five agribusiness commodity systems components: the input subsystem, the marketing subsystem, the processing subsystem, the support subsystem, and the production subsystem. First, let's talk about the input subsystem. Input subsystem includes the cassava stem. Cassava is a perennial shrub that is best propagated vegetatively. In any vegetatively propagated crop, good cuttings are necessary for high yields. It is recommended that planting material be taken from plants ranging from 8 to 10 months of age. Seed rate 7,700 sets per hectare at a spacing of 75 by 75 centimeter. Sets should be 15 centimeter length with 8 to 10 nodes and should be collected from middle portion of the stem. Sources of inputs of cassava stem should be Philippines cassava growers, local farmers, and jam integrated farm. Chemicals is also included in the major input used in cassava production. Cassava requires high levels of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium for proper growth and development. Nitrogen is essential for foliage growth and potassium helps with overall plant health. Pests and diseases can decimate a cassava crop, so it's important to be vigilant in control measures. The most common pests are the root knot nematode, whiteflies, and mealybugs. Common diseases include cassava brown streak disease, cassava mosaic virus, and black rot. The general recommendation for soil, which have not been analyzed, is 8 sacks of complete or triple protein fertilizer per hectare. Apply fertilizer 2 to 6 weeks after planting at 5 to 10 centimeter depth and 15 to 20 centimeter away from the plant. Thereafter, apply pre-emergent herbicides such as Premextra Gold at 4 liters per hectare and within 24 hours after planting. Malathion or Cervin may be sprayed on insect pests, but the bigger enemies are the rats and pigs. To control the yellowing and eventual falling of leaves, spray them to 3 spoons for every kerosene can of water or follow the instruction on the label. Spray every 2 to 4 weeks. The possible sources of inputs must be Syngenta, Bagong Lipunan Agricultural and Poultry Supply, Ace Agrivets, SAE Manufacturing Specialties Corporation. As the table shown, there are items, unit cost, quantity, and the total cost. For the cassava stem, 25 pesos per bundle. 20 pieces is the total cost of 22,125 pesos. For the fertilizer, 1,796 each socks, which we need 8 socks with a total cost of 14,368 pesos. And for the herbicides, which is the Permexa Gold, cost of 597.87 pesos, which we need a 4 liter, a total cost of 2,391.48 pesos. And for the pesticide, Malation, which cost for 450 pesos and we need 30 liter, the total cost of 13,500 pesos. And the total cost for the cassava stem, fertilizer, herbicides, and pesticides will be 52,384 pesos point 38. Also, the water was included in the major input. Water is one of the most important inputs in cassava farming. Adequate and timely irrigation is essential for successful cassava production. Cassava is a drought-tolerant crop, but it still requires sufficient water for optimal growth and yields. Farmers should carefully monitor their fields and irrigation systems to ensure that cassava plants are getting the right amount of water. The best time to water cassava plants is early in the morning or late in the evening when evaporation rates are low. Watering during the mid heat can cause leaf scorching and reduce plant productivity. The source of inputs must be the rainfall, irrigation, and the water pump. Next is the land. An open field, sandy loam to clay loam soil, soil pH ranging from 5.5 to 6.5. Enough rainfall or water source that can support the growth of cassava plants throughout the year. Cassava plants produce low yield and deformed fruits when subjected to drought stress, especially during the first 3 months after planting. A well-drained area, no water lagging for more than 24 hours. Young cassava plants 1 to 3 months old will have stunted growth, while mature cassava plants will have rotten roots when waterlogged for more than 24 hours. And for the machinery and maintenance, as the demand for the crop is increasing, farmers need to rely on mechanical harvesting methods more than ever. The use of cassava harvester can help farmers achieve more yields and gain more income. The equipment can dig out the cassava roots, which can reduce the heavy physical work involved in manual harvesting. Because it can uproot one plant easily, farmers can cover a hectare of land within hours. The sources of its inputs must be the Food Tractor Philippines, Basin Machinery, and Alibaba. Meron pa akong ano. Here are the sample machineries that use in cassava production. And each machines we need only one, and a total cost of, since it is very pricey, a total cost of 366,655 pesos 187 pesos. For the problems and prospects of the input subsystem, we have the expensive cassava processing machines, prevalence of devastating pest and diseases, high prices of synthetic fertilizers, pesticide and herbicide, not resistance to storage, cassava is, and the prospect are the cassava is drought tolerance and requires low investment, cassava is profitable, cassava has better economic benefits. That will be all for the input subsystem.
Thank you, Mizzy and Liberty Chorus. So now, let's proceed the production subsystem. But before that, let me introduce myself first. I am Jessica V. Madoro. I will discuss the production trends, volume, and price of cassava in the Philippines. Production trends: cassava is planted each year about 120,000 hectares of agricultural land in the Philippines, producing about 1.8 million tons of cassava roots, dried chips, and starch. As a traded commodity, however, cassava contributes only about 2% gross value adding in agriculture. The volume of cassava produced in the Philippines amounted to approximately 2.56 million metric tons in the past 2 years. Cassava production in the country reached in peak in 2017, reaching 2.81 million metric tons. Cassava accounted for 13.0% of the total production of 19,656.23 mt. Its production increased by 12% in 2022, a turnaround from a decrease of 3.0% in 2021. In 2022, the average domestic wholesale price of cassava in the Philippines was around 15.3 Philippines pesos per kilogram. The average wholesale price of this type of root crops has been fluctuating over the past decade. Cassava has gained gradual acceptance as a high-energy component in commercial feed formulations. This fueled by chronic shortage and the resulting high price in domestically produced maize. In a specific location, farmers now recognize that intercropping cassava with maize and given optimum care, this cropping system economically comparable to the two monocrops and provides a more reliable income. So now, let's proceed the production concentration, or where the farms are mostly located produce cassava of the Philippines. Cassava is the tropical root crop that is grown in many parts of the Philippines. The three main regions where cassava is grown are Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Here are the cassava producing regions in the Philippines. Autonomous regions in Muslim Mindanao in 2020. The division account for 41.70% of cassava produced in the Philippines, cultivated over 98,872 hectares, yield 10,999 kilograms or hectares, with a total of 1,087,524 tons. Here are the cassava top producing regions in the Philippines. Northern Mindanao in 2020. The division accounts for 26.32% of cassava produced in the Philippines, cultivated over 27,544 hectares, yield 24,934 kilograms per hectare, with a total of 686,774 tons. Second is Cagayan Valley in 2020. The division accounts for 9.12% of cassava produced in the Philippines, cultivated over 15,654 hectares, yield 15,185 kilograms per hectare, with a total of 237,704 tons. Third is Zamboanga Peninsula in 2020. The division accounts for 3.36% of cassava production in the Philippines, cultivated over 5,922 hectares, yield 14,798 kilograms per hectare, with a total of 87,635 tons. Fourth is Soxcargin. In 2020, the division amounts for 3.25% of cassava produced in the Philippines, cultivated over 3,692 hectares, yield 22,924 kilograms per hectare, with a total of 84,635 tons. So the last part of the production subsystem of cassava is the technological developments of cassava in the Philippines. As a food crops, demand for cassava is increasing, and this trend is expected to continue with the increased population and improvement in techniques for transforming cassava roots into more suitable, stable converment or attractive products. The Machineries or Metal Craft Corporation is the part of the Philippines Center of the Post-Harvest Develop and Mechanization. Pilmex. In the development of the cassava digger, it lessened the number of labor as well as the day harvesting of cassava. The Philippine Root Crop Research and Training Center or PhilRootCrop Root Crop of Leyte State University, LSU, in Baybay, Leyte, developed a system that can produce cassava grades and average of 20 kg per hour or more than 2 tons per month. The system involves the use of cassava grades, spinner, cassava grades, and sieve and rotary drum dryer. The produce involves peeling and trimming, washing, grating, spinning, fulbering, finishing, drying, and packaging. And the production opportunities of cassava in the Philippines are: first, high nutritional value. Cassava is the color-rich vegetable that contains plenty carbohydrates and key vitamins and minerals. Cassava is the good source of vitamin C, thiamine, riboflavin, and niacin. The leaves, which are also edible if person cooks them and dries them in the sun, can contain up to 25% protein. Second is market demand. The greatest potential demand for cassava in industry in the forms of starch and animal feeds, barring any increase in protectionism in the importing countries. Cassava also has good international market potential. Third is adaptability to various climate. Cassava grown throughout the country except very cool area and high altitude like Baguio for optimum group warm hand climate with distributed rainfall for 1,000 to 2,000 year. So, the production problems of cassava in the Philippines are disease and pest pressure. Pest and disease can disseminate a cassava crops, so it is important to be vigilant in control measures. The most common pests are the root knot, nematodes, white lice, and mealybugs. Common disease include cassava brown streak disease, cassava mosaic virus, and black rot. Second is climatic factors. The cassava crop grows well in areas that are humid and moist. Low temperature causes slow growth and reduced yields. The common climate condition for cassava plants to grow well in humid, warm weather of the temperature of 25 to 29 degrees Celsius, 77 to 84 Fahrenheit, and the soil temperature of 30, 30 degrees Celsius and 86 Fahrenheit. Climate change effects of cassava production will reduce biodiversity for 95.2%, increase crop failure of 97.6%, decrease yield of 100%, and increase soil salinity 92.6%.
So, thank you, Miss Jessica Madoro, for the information. So, good day, everyone. My name is Janeline Montalia Domingo from BTPTID 3A. And now, let's move on about the production subsystem, and let us proceed to the next one. The processing subsystem, product lines, process products. So, ito nga po pala yung mga products, business, or foods na pwede nating gawin about sa cassava. Number 1 is kisanvu, cream, cassava paste, dried cassava chips, cassava starch, cassava flour, fermented and baked semolina, gari, cassava pasta, and cassava aka, casabe bread. So, dito po is very understandable naman po yung meaning niya, at kung gusto nyo pong gumawa ng business or products about cassava na simple lang, pwede po kayong mag-search sa YouTube or i-click nyo lang po yung link here below for more info. The next is the manufacturers and skills of operation. The Philippines is one of the world's largest producers of cassava, and there are numerous manufacturers and professors involved in the cassava industry in the country. Some of the prominent cassava manufacturers and professors in the Philippines include: okay, number 1, Philippines Starch Producers Association, INC PSPA. Number 2, San Miguel Foods, INC. Number 3, Universal Rowena Corporation, URC. Number 4, SL Agritech Corporation. And the last is local cooperatives in small scale professors. So, ibig sabihin, isa sila sa mga nagpo-produce ng mga products or business ng cassava dito sa Pilipinas. It comes here in the Philippines, the processing subsystem volume and value of cassava past 2 years is all about 2.56 million metric tons. So, pagdating niya ng 2017, it increased to 2.81 million metric tons. Same as price. So, 12.24 and 24.49 per kilogram, or between 5.55 and 11.1 per pound in Manila and Quezon, and the retail price range for Philippines. Cassava in September in between 0.22, 0.44 per kilogram, or between 0.1 and 0.4 per pounds. So, pagdating niya naman ng 2022, it also increased in 15.3 Philippines pesos per kilogram. So, it means, same as volume, nag-increase siya. Kasi, the more na tumataas or nag-i-improve yung product about cassava, it means tumataas din yung value and price niya. Processing problems and opportunities. Processing problems. So, one of the most problems here in Philippines is lack of efficient mechanical dryers for cassava chips. So, we all know that here in Philippines, we lack of technology, equipment, that we can use to create cassava products like cassava chips. Unlike the other countries na kompleto talaga sila sa mga facilities, technology na pwede nilang magamit sa paggawa ng cassava. The next is maize importation. So, katulad po ng sinabi ko kanina, kaya hindi po nating magawang makapag-export sa ibang bansa, yun ay dahil kulang po tayo sa mga facilities, technology na pwede nating magamit sa paggawa ng products or anything about cassava. So, ito naman po yung mga opportunities na pwede po nating i-grab sa paggawa ng cassava. So, cassava for food, for feed, and starch. Starch use will continue to increase. Use of dried cassava chips is expected to continue growing, and also cassava for alcohol. So, marami po tayong gawin. Marami po tayong pwedeng gawin about sa cassava and so on. So, that's all minds. I hope you learn a lot. Thank you.